Hey guys, my name is KJOS and the S22 Plus literally just got delivered to my doorstep, so I decided to do an unboxing and first impressions for you guys. I really can't wait to see what this baby can do. Also, I recently just hit 4,000 subscribers and I almost got emotional. So if you love videos like this, do sure to subscribe and like this video and share with your friends so more people can see it. Now let's get into the unboxing and get this party started. The black ensemble with the pink S in the middle is a nice touch. Now removing this was kind of stressful, but I eventually got it open because I had to get a knife. Now inside the box you have the S22 Plus in pink and gold color, some papers in there that nobody cares about, and a USB-C cable. The unboxing experience of the Galaxy S22 is already what we've come to expect. It's a small box, no charging brick, just a single USB-C cable, and of course the phone itself. While I'm still getting used to One UI, the standout feature for me has to be the color of the phone by just holding it. This rose gold, or pink gold as Samsung is calling it, is the best color, and that is why I decided to pick this one instead of the green or the black or the white. Now the back of the phone has this very smooth finish that doesn't really help with fingerprint marks or smudges. It's also present in the black and white color. It's not as noticeable, but it's still there. Now the body is an aluminum frame that goes all the way to the camera bump that is right here, and I honestly love that. I prefer this design to the S22 Ultra's camera bump, but we'll talk about that in the full review. It's a very comfortable phone considering the height, the aluminum frame, and of course the square build. Now officially it's a 6.6 inch display or body and has Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and on the back. Now you might think this might help if it drops, but like I always say, glass is glass. So if this falls on a very hard surface like concrete, it's definitely either going to crack or have a very large scratch. So do as I do and put a case on your device. Trust me, it's better safe than sorry. Now on the right side of the phone is where smartphones should start placing all their buttons from now on going forward in 2022, and that is the power button and the volume button on one side. It's just a lot easier to navigate as opposed to having one on the right side and one on the left side. Now at the bottom of the phone you have stereo speakers, which are pretty great. I tested them before I started doing this segment of the video, and it came out pretty well. It also has no headphone jack, which isn't a surprise in 2022. Now, unlike the S22 Ultra that has a quad camera setup, this has a triple camera setup of a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and of course a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. Now the video shoots at 8K at 24 frames per second and goes down to 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second. Now the selfie camera isn't left out. It has a 10 megapixel camera that shoots at 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second. Now if you want to use this to create content, I'm not really sure yet. I will give you all the details in my full review coming out in the next couple of weeks. At this point in time, without any shadow of a doubt, you already know Samsung makes the best displays on any smartphone in the world right now, period. Now, and the S22 Plus is no exception. This has a dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a 120Hz refresh rate that dials all the way back down to 10 if you're looking at something static. Now, looking at the display, peak brightness reaches at 1750 nits, which is incredible. If you're using this outside, it definitely will not be a problem. Now, I'm not even sure if there are a lot of people like me that like that brightness to be on 100%, but I would love to see how this will impact my battery life going forward, considering this also has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip with 8 gig or 12 gigs of RAM, and apparently the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip takes a lot of power to function, so I would love to see how that will pan out. Now, the battery life here, or the battery power here on the S22 Plus is a 4,500 milliamp hours of battery, and that is flagship level specs. That has more battery than the Pixel 6, has more battery than the iPhone 13 Pro. I'm pretty sure it also has more battery than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but I'll have to check that right after this video. But either way, numbers don't really tell the real story, and you can ask Google and the Pixel 6 Pro because the battery life on that is very average. Okay, now with such a huge battery within the S22 Plus, I expected it to be heavy, but it isn't. It's 195 grams currently, and this is even lighter than the Pixel 6 Pro that came out last year. And with the way I'm holding it, with the square design with an aluminum frame, soft back, I don't think I would get a lot of hand fatigue holding this, but then again, I don't really hold my phone a lot because I use my laptop for WhatsApp, Twitter, and so many other things. But so far, it's really very comfortable to hold, and I appreciate the design itself. Now before I forget, the S22 Plus has a single fingerprint reader at the bottom of the screen, and it's quite good because it's in the right location. It's an ultrasonic fingerprint reader and it's definitely better than, say, the S21 FE that came out earlier this year that had an optical fingerprint scanner that every time you tapped it, it'll light up. It's kind of annoying, so I definitely prefer this on the S22 Plus. My thoughts on the Galaxy S22 Plus are quite positive. I'm digging the square frame, the aluminum build, the glass back, but it's still lighter in terms of its weight, and of course the display. Now let's face it, Samsung are making the best displays right now, and I don't see anybody coming remotely close to where they are. And of course the cameras, because that is what people care about. Are the cameras good enough, especially at the price of $999 in the US and $1,300 here in Canada? Well, we'll find out in my full review. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, thank you again for getting me to 4,000 subscribers. I'm eternally grateful, but also don't forget to subscribe so I can get to 5K in due time. My name is KJOS, and I will catch you guys in the next one where I talk all things tech. Yeah, it is. It is. It has more battery than the Pro Max. It is. Bruh.